And we're on. Okay, here we go. We're doing I just realized I just wrote discriminants wrong. Here we go. Discriminants. Okay, so what are discriminants and why do I care? Okay, this is the last thing you guys need to know. So this is a really quick lesson. I think we can go this really fast because actually a lot of times when you've been doing the quadratic formula, you have been using discriminants and knowing what it means. But let's go through it and see what's going to happen. Okay. A discriminant is part of the quadratic formula. Here is our quadratic formula. Negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. The part in the square root, the b squared minus 4ac, is the discriminant. This is the discriminant. Okay, I'll just say this is it. Right there, the discriminant. Okay, I can't even write this discriminant. Okay, close enough. You get what I'm trying to say. Okay, so why do I care about discriminant? Well, interestingly enough, depending upon what the discriminant is, I can tell you how many roots I have. So sometimes it's actually a really quick way of seeing if you even have any roots at all. So let me tell you something. You can have 3 possibilities of what happens inside here, and depending upon what you get, you can immediately tell how many roots you are. Okay, so your b squared minus 4ac. It can be greater than 0, it can be equal to 0, and it can be less than 0. So what do I mean by that? I mean it can be positive. It can be 0, there's not much, it can be 0, and it can be less than 0. In other words, it can be negative. And what does this mean? What does this mean? Okay, well, basically, if this is positive, that means I'm going to have 2 numbers. Definitely 2 numbers. I can square root a positive number. I'm going to end up with basically 2 possible versions of my answer. So I will get 2 roots, definitely. Now 0, what happens is that this is 0. If this is equal to 0, I'm going to be left with only, you can see what will happen. My quadratic formula now is only minus b over 2a. There's no plus or minus anymore. It's plus or minus 0, so that plus or minus part goes away, and the whole thing, I get x equals that. Well, that's not 2 different answers. That's only 1 root. So that's kind of interesting. That's really kind of interesting. And then if it's negative, what happens? Well, that means I'm going to have a root of a negative number, a negative. And we already know that means I can't do that. It's impossible. So I will have 0 roots. Okay, that's it. That's everything. That's all you need to know. We're done. Okay, maybe we should do an example anyway. Okay, so let's just do something really quick, just make sure we get an understanding of what we're up to. For example, let's look at, for example, 1. I have a negative 3x squared plus 5x plus 6 equals 0. Okay, so here's my A, here's my B, here's my C. Now let me just look at, all I'm going to look at is what? I'm going to look at the discriminant. So b squared, that's 25, and minus 4 times a, which is negative 3, times c, which is 6. So what am I going to end up with? Well, I'm going to be ending up with 25 plus 6 times 3 times 4, that is 72, and it's positive 72. I got 2 negatives, so I'm going to get positive 72. I'm going to end up with 97, which is positive. So therefore, that's my little 3 dots I always do, therefore, 2 roots. Is this true? Well, let me just see it on a graph. If I had a graph, how do we know where it is? Well, very quickly, the C value tells me the y-intercept of my, okay, so up here, I got something there. I know that it is looking downwards, so that means the negative A means it's going to go like this somehow. Well, yeah, I'm definitely going to have 2 spots where it passes through the x-axis. I'm going to have 2 roots, guaranteed. So that seems to make sense. Okay, well, what if we got, let's do another example. Example 2. What if we got, I don't know, let's say 1 over 9 x squared minus 4x plus 36 equals 0. Sorry for the bad writing, guys. I'm going fast. We're going to do this super fast. Okay, so here we go. B squared minus 4ac. What is that in this case? Well, here's my a, here's my b, here's my c. So now I'm going to have b squared, that is 16, minus 4 times a, 1 over 9. I really made this lovely for myself. Times 36. Okay, how does this work? That's 16 minus, well, hold on, this isn't so bad. 4 times what? 36 over 9. What's 36 divided by 9? Oh, wait a minute, that's 4. 36 divided by 9, so it's 4 times 4. So 16 minus 16 is equal to 0. My discriminant is 0. It's 0. So what is that going to end up looking like? It's going to be something where I have only one root. Well, what does that look like? Try to figure out where your vertex is. At some point, why don't you take this graph, try to work out where the vertex is, and what you're going to find, I guarantee this, because I know what the discriminant means, that it is going to be at one point on the x-axis. In other words, the vertex is going to be on the x-axis. It's going to be where y equals 0. So in that respect, I have not passing through twice like I had earlier, only passing through exactly once. And the only place that can happen is on the vertex. So that basically takes care of that problem. Okay, last one, because of course I said there's 3 possibilities. Guess what this one's going to be? Yes, it's going to be the awesome no solution. Well, let me prove it anyway. 2x squared minus 7x plus 8 equals 0. Okay, so let's do it. This is my A, this is my B, this is my C. B squared, 49, minus 4 times A, that's 2, times C, that's 8. What is that? 2 times 4, that's 64. So I'm going to have 49 minus 64, that is minus 15. This is negative. It's negative. There are no roots. There's no roots. So for all 3 examples, what I suggest you checking, so what would no roots look like? I didn't even get into that, did I? It will look like this. If there's no roots, that means it doesn't pass by at all. I have a positive A, which I guarantee what you get is going to look something like that. It's going to not even touch the x-axis. Therefore, no roots, no x at y equals 0. So give it a shot. Why not? Do this for practice, guys. Go through each one and give me the vertex, figure out, graph it maybe, even just for fun. Find out. And you'll see that this one, because I knew the discriminant, told me there was 2 roots, and I know already. So that's something you would probably need to know on the test or the quiz coming up. So make sure you understand what this is all talking about. Not too tough. Okay, otherwise do your practice, blah, blah, blah. Have a good weekend, guys. Talk to you later. Bye now.